Dun dun dun. It is time. Boop. Hello. It's time for streaming again. Time for art streaming again, which should be exciting. Oh my gosh, Artfight has officially begun. The time of attacking people with my art is now. And isn't it just so beautiful that you can cause violence using art? The beautiful world that the Artfight website has created. So beautiful. I'm gonna actually start the stream. I guess I should open it. Let me open on my phone. I'm like, well, no, I know it'll work. Yeah, from my end. I've been lightly testing what things will potentially get flagged from Twitch muting stuff because I mean, obviously, like I don't know, the licenses for playing music on Twitch is confusing to me, uh, and I suppose to most people. But you know, I've only barely started streaming, so I've had like one experience of getting muted, and unfortunately, I think that was when I sang something during a stream and it got muted, but it also could have been because the music itself got recorded in the VOD. But I think with the way that I have my VOD recording set up, it splits the music from like everything else from the stream. Actually, I think it also splits my game audio, which is somewhat unintentional. I kind of don't want that to happen, but more importantly, it splits the music. Therefore, I think we should be good. If I play copyrighted music, it just doesn't go through to the VOD, which is theoretically clear because from the one, well, I've read a couple of articles, but from the one thing that I saw, playing music in a live stream counts as live performance, but getting that music recorded in a VOD like requires you to have reproduction rights because now you're taking something that was from somewhere else and you're like putting it into a different format that you are saying you own, which is not true if you don't have the license for the music. So anyway, long story short, we're just gonna play highly copyrighted music that's just in my regular playlist of shit that I listen to, and we're gonna see what happens. I'd love to not have to check in on this in the middle of stream, but luckily we have a thunderstorm warning today for where I live. So if my Wi-Fi cuts, that'll give me a good opportunity to go and check if the VOD has gotten muted at any point. So yeah, we're just gonna get it. We're gonna start some more drawing. Lovely, I would say relaxing drawing stream, but my music is not that relaxing. Currently a lot of Vocaloid. Some of it's sad Vocaloid, but some of it's also like metal covers of Deltarune, so arguably this will be a relatively high energy stream, at least in terms of music. So if that interests you, you can stick around. Before we start, I've gone through, are these all sized? Yeah. I've picked a handful of lovely OCs for us to draw from Artfight. I'm just going to start this first week because obviously, I guess I haven't checked. I would hope I have not gotten attacked in these first 2 days. But we're going to start by attacking all of my mutuals and friends on Artfight. Unfortunately, well, I guess this is fortunate. Only one person I have in my mutuals list is on my same team. So we're going to have to do one instance of friendly fire. But look at how cool. This is Petunia, my friend's OC, and this is a real life creature. It's a real living spider duck cat that definitely is not just a rubber ducky they covered in like modeling clay and paint. So this is going to be the friendly fire attack. And then I'll pick through some of the other OCs that I've gotten from my other friends. Yeah, it would be really awesome if I could like render these drawings all in one go, like in this stream, because then I wouldn't have to work on it again. But we'll see how long that takes. I at least want to do an attack for all four of these guys. I probably won't do animation because I'm not gonna lie, animating in Clip Studio Paint is still a little complicated for me. I'm just like way more used to Adobe Animate just because I've had some projects that were done in it. So I don't know. I'll either have to go into that for doing animation or I'm gonna have to learn how to do it for Clip Studio Paint, which might take a minute, and I might prefer to do that off stream. Also, animating just takes forever, so that one animation project might be like a one stream type situation. But we're gonna start with Petunia. We're gonna play my beautiful Vocaloid music. Here, we'll start very chill with Distress, and then it's immediately going to get high energy with Yara Yara, or Yada Yada. Bump that a little. Okay. I was considering if I wanted to animate Petunia. Because I don't know, spiders just seem so animatable. Or maybe I'm crazy actually, and like spiders would be horrible to animate. But like, I don't know, their little legs moving around, I feel like that would be really cute. And they're a cat too. Oh god, I'm thinking like how could I possibly be able to animate this? Because I'm envisioning like I guess this is more of a dog thing, but you know when an animal like spins in a circle and then sits down? Like you could do that with this spider duck cat. Or just their eyes would also be fun to animate. Oh wait, that would be cute. Okay, I have one idea of just like maybe a square POV. And this would need to be animated, which I shouldn't do in animation, but maybe I could figure out animation in this one thing. I guess I'll just do like one frame of it maybe for this. So the frame would start empty, and then we'd just have the little duck like pop into frame. Probably very big. It'd be cute if they like had a head turn. Like maybe they started. I guess this is sort of helpful. They've provided a front view of the duck. Duck cat spider. This is not the only beautiful duck OC that my friend has made. I mean, they have made many, but also they've put two, I think, two duck OCs up on their Artfight profile. Many to choose from, but I'm probably gonna just stick to the one just because I don't generally have the time to do a lot of friendly fire. Like once Artfight really ramps up, suddenly it's just like 100% of revenging attacks, which is part of the fun. It's a little stressful though. I'm just now realizing why Club Penguin mouths look the way they do. Front-facing bill. They really had that design on lock. This is gonna be maybe a little threatening, I'm just realizing. I think that's kind of the vibe of this character, is like, it's sort of cute and charming and weird, but also like, they are not shying away from the spookiness, the unsettling. Okay, and then we'll just toss a bunch of eyeballs on them. Oh, and this isn't even the only character. I mean, obviously, I'm so used to seeing characters and making them that are 2D, but this is not the only one I've seen that is 3D right now in this instance of Artfight. I've also seen my other friend, Ink, or Inkdrays. They also have a 3D model on their character profile. Just so cute. That does kind of make me wonder if I should put some 3D model stuff on mine, but 3D modeling's hard. I don't know if their eyes... They're like a little symmetrical, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm like a... Well, I don't want it to look too trypophobic. We'll just do that. Give it a little bit off-centered so that it's not too symmetrical. What does the duck face look like? I guess I'm like a little bit of a... Like a bit of a cat mouth somehow. Yeah, oh, that's cute. Okay, somehow the duck and cat mouth merging has been somewhat natural. And then they have like front-facing ears. Cute. And I might rotate that a little. Yeah. Very cute. And they've got like little sparkles or something. Eh. That's actually one thing I wish I was better at, and which I should probably practice, is some of the OCs I've looked at and the artists, like, they're so good at putting texture on their things, which is something I've kind of ignored. Most of my art, and at least in terms of, like, I don't know, I do a lot of character-focused stuff. I mostly focus more on, like, the shape and silhouette of a design and not so much, like, adding interest through texture and things. But that does look so good. So I kind of want to, I want to get better at that. Beyond just like, using brushes and stuff to add texture. Something I should practice. But then I also know a lot of artists that, like, a lot of their texture work, they do rely a lot on brushes. It's just that they're better at making it look, I don't know, well integrated into the piece maybe. But anyway, that is our very simple sketch for character number 1. I think I'll do a sketch and then I'll do a little color. Love doing some color coding on my layers. I've heard, I don't know if this is like a rare thing to do. Kind of insane if it is, but apparently, like, I've seen a lot of artists who just do not, like, label or organize their layers at all, which, I don't know. Maybe I'm just... Am I that... I don't know if I'm that organized of a person. I guess I am. But that just seems very... like my OCD, except I don't have OCD. That just seems very horrible to look at and experience. Like, it's not that hard, I think, to just add some layers and labels. Mostly I would just hate it because, like, I mean, actually, I think Clip does have a thing. Where is it? If you, no, Control? Yeah, Control and click and you can see what layer you just clicked, which is handy, but, like, I barely use that. I would like to be able to look at a glance and know what layers I have. At the very least, just having like a labeling for the line art and the color, the fill, That's the bare minimum. Even though sometimes I can't be bothered to actually write a label on things. Okay, should it be... I'm thinking daytime, but it might be more fitting for this creature to be awake at night. Oh, and I can make their eyes glowy. That's pretty cool. I'll give them a little bit of like a nighttime glow. And then it's perfect. This character's like already awash in kind of a dramatic lighting. Yeah, this is a good character to start with or start off with for a warm up. There's one of the characters that I like kind of have an idea for what I want to do. Um, but it might be kind of complicated in terms of perspective. But oh, the character is so cute. I guess I'll be doing it next. It's Inked Rays. It's so adorable. So we'll be looking at that in a little bit. Oh, they're so beautiful. And we'll do dramatic ass lighting. I feel like this title of this piece would just be like POV, your cat is asking for treats. It might just be what I label it. I don't want the shadow to be quite that dark. Just don't want it to make it look like they have lipstick on. Cute, cute. Oh yeah, I've totally forgotten to fix my drawing pad since last stream, so we will see if I crash out again about the stupid thing being broken. Hopefully it is. Well, I mean, it does always tend to just inevitably go to shit, but we'll see. We'll just pray and hope, I guess. Or I could just... Oh yeah, I forgot. Where is my other drawing pad? Totally forgot about looking last time. That color? Beautiful, beautiful. And then the sparkles are like a pink. Just do it kind of roughly. And the eyes are black? Sort of? We'll do black, I guess. Guess we'll do like black and then outline of pink and then... Or outline of white and then pink in the center. Oh yeah, since last stream... Because I think, yeah, last stream was Deltarune release. And since then, I did play it. All of it. Kind of short. Although I might just be thinking it's short because, what, chapter 3 and 4 released together. So there was just a lot of gameplay to go through. Which is a bit interesting, honestly, that... I'm a bit curious as to what Toby Fox is like why he's released it in this way. Like it just kind of feels strange to me to have like to kind of get people maybe not totally used to, but familiar with releasing two in one go and like having all this content and then just releasing one at a time. I don't know, it kind of exacerbates this feeling of not having as much to do due to, you know, us having gotten 2 chapters first go round. So that's a little interesting. Regardless, it was a pretty damn good chapter. I mean, I don't really think... I think Toby would struggle to give good, or make good gameplay, I guess. But yeah, it was pretty good. And, I've like now sort of forgotten about how the gameplay went just because in I think last week as well I started and finished. I finally watched the last season of Ruby, which I've been putting off for a long time, just because I don't have very fond memories of how I left off on it. I forget exactly when I stopped, but I remember it being bad, and so I just never finished it, and I never watched the next season that came out. Also, look at them. They're so scary. I think their beak looks okay. Maybe do some more shading. I forget which one I used. They kind of have this like unintentionally, I don't know whatever that like animation look is where they've got just like a dark shadow over their eyes, which is perfect. You just don't know if it's sinister or cute. I want to add like the sparkly, the shiny eyes. I don't know how exactly that would work. There's a lot of sparkle to be had. Many eyes. Yeah, that works well enough. How cute. I think that works well enough. The top-down view is kind of confusing, but I think it's probably going to be pretty clear, at least to the artist, what character this is. Very cute. All right. That's number 1 done then. And technically 4, but Petunia. Okay. I'll continue talking about Deltarune in a sec. First, we gotta pick the character from Ray. So, which one? This one's Dari. Very cute. I mean, all the characters and just style from my friend Inkers is so adorable. I love them all so much. So that was Danny. Yes. Okay, Evi. I think I really want to do Evi. Look at them. They're freaking tempura themed. Ugh. I don't know if they're like actually made of tempura. I don't think so. But look at the freaking tail and the little fish cake headphones. Ugh. I think I like briefly read through all the character descriptions for all of these guys, and I think this one is a fashion designer, Y2K. So I think I wanted to do. I had a vision for what I wanted to do for this one, and then the third one was like a cute little dragon character, which I also like. But again, this is one like I can really envision like an animation for this, which is bad. I need to stop. I can't do this many animations. I've done several for last Artfight, but they just take a lot longer. So I think we go for this one. Let's toss this in. We'll do Ibai. No idea if I'll be pronouncing any of these names right, but that's okay. Doesn't really matter. And the artist isn't here to correct me. So yeah, we'll be doing this beautiful character. What's this? Oh, it's a tempura charm. Braid flip to face the side when facing forward. Okay, gotcha. Very cute. Oh my god, I'm so obsessed with the shrimp tempura rollerblades. Ah, they're so cute. Also the way that the like the bow tying up the laces also just looks like a bow on the shrimp is so cute. I was so obsessed with this design when I saw it, so I'll have to give my kudos in the comments. Anyway, back to Deltarune. Chapter was cool. Weirdly, it stands out less in my mind for whatever reason than the like previous chapters. I don't know. It might just be because I played through Deltarune. I played chapter 5 really quickly. And I feel like with the previous chapters, I don't know. For whatever reason, maybe I was more into the fandom at the time. Or there really was just more content per chapter. But I think I spent more time. I took more time with it. And so maybe it's stuck in my brain a little bit more. Or the theming. I feel like the main theming that comes to mind when I think of chapter 5 is just Japan. And all the themes for all the other chapters have been so unique. I mean, like, the internet is not a unique concept, but I don't know, it felt almost like kind of Y2K era, kind of old internet. So, and then like tennis TV time. I don't know. I don't know why. They just felt more unique to me. Whereas this one was just like Japan. It was very beautiful, and I will say the music, so good from chapter 5. I can't complain about that. I mean, the music is always so amazing. So those were bangers, and I also really liked the little, what was it, Aqua, little knife girly. That was pretty cute as well. Also, okay, so I don't really know how I'm gonna freaking do this sketch, but I was envisioning when I saw the like shrimp tempura shoes, I wanted to make like a different set of shoes that were also tempura themed. Knowing that they're a fashion designer, maybe I could just have them like posing with it, but I was sort of thinking of this like complicated ass pose. How do I even do this? I was thinking of like, would it be. It would almost be like they were completely flat with the camera or level with the camera. And then like their body laying this way. God, it'd have to be perspective is the problem. But like their arm would be like this, and then maybe like hanging down the side. And then their leg would be, oh God, it's forced perspective, and also their leg is like crossed over their other leg. It'd be like that. Foot here. What's wrong with me? Why would I ever think this is a feasible drawing? Doing the hardest shit possible. And then I wanted their like other leg to be like this, like crossed over it. So it'd be this, but forced perspective somehow. I feel like I'm just thinking this because the other last piece of art that I saw this person do had like, they're really good at doing just crazy perspectives. And I want to do that, but I don't know how. Hmm. How do we do this? Well, we'll just do this for now, I guess. I mean, maybe that, instead of having it be level, doing just actually the bench that they're laying on. Like, they're trying on shoes in this little scene that I'm envisioning. Mhm. But yeah, so the music from chapter 5, amazing as always. Theming was just very Japan, which I guess I don't begrudge Toby of that. Like, I imagine that was a lot of fun for him. To just do a theming that he was very passionate about or had a lot of ideas for. And there were definitely a lot of beautiful scenes as well. I was reminded of Celeste. Was it? I don't know which chapter it was numerically, but the chapter of Celeste where you're starting to get close to the top of the mountain and you're kind of just like, I think it's Golden Ridge is the name of the chapter. Just these like very stark like sunset colors in the sky really reminded me of that when you first like get up to the top of the mountains in chapter 5 of Deltarune. So that was pretty damn pretty. Let's see. Neck. Oh God, force perspective. Kill me. Body. Arm. Leg somehow. Foot. Leg. Where would the leg even go here so that it balances on top? Like, I'd have to go all the way up here. And then down? And then you don't really see the person. I think we'd have to tilt it more. Their leg looks broken, but it's okay. It's all part of the process. Things will hopefully look less and less broken as we do this. Um, I was honestly a little, I guess, no, I was kind of disappointed by the secret boss in chapter 5. Because, like, haven't we seen Kissy Mew Mew as a boss before? I don't remember, because it's been so long since I played the previous chapters. But, like, didn't we literally already fight her? Why are we fighting her again? I mean, even, what was it? Even Eram, like, I would say, I mean, yeah, even Eram kind of stood out to me, if only because he fit the world that was being developed so well, and there was like so much kind of mystery and intrigue about his character. Oh, I also probably shouldn't be using he, him, because I don't think Eram has gender. They are a computer secret boss virus something. I don't know. The vibes were cool, and there was like a good amount of build up for the character. But Kithy, like we know this character already, and I feel like it just kind of came out of left field to see them. Maybe it was more hinted at previously in other chapters, and I just missed it. But it was like it was both. It both didn't fit, and also we already know this character, so it was kind of like doubly disappointing in that way. I think the only mention of them might have been there was like a shop NPC in chapter 5 who they were like very cool and mysterious. I liked the vibe of the shop. And they had cat ears? Was that Kissy? Like, I'd have to assume it was, but the personalities of those characters seemed like so different, you know? I don't know. It maybe that was like Toby's way to inject some mystery and intrigue to this character, but like really didn't see any connection. Although there might have been like was there a cat statue outside of the shop? Maybe. I don't know. It was a little confusing to me. Also, I think this needs to be longer, but maybe we'll just draw them some more to start. Hmm. So I think those were probably just those are the only big gripes that I had throughout the chapter. Generally pretty cool. Good visuals. Oh, obviously I loved I loved, yeah, just a lot of the flower characters. Cowboy Yellow was probably my favorite. A lot of hilarious moments throughout it. I was a really big fan of the start as well, where like Susie's preparing for the date. That was very adorable. I got a little. I'm really glad I didn't do Snowgrave at all before doing the regular chapter. I think I do that for all of them. Because I do have a simultaneous like one save file for the regular game and then one save file for the Snowgrave, just because I mean, I don't love being evil necessarily. No, I didn't say that. And if anyone claims that, they're slandering my good name. However, I just like to see all the content, and there's quite a bit of content to be found in Snowgrave. I'd truly just be squandering the game of Deltarune if I didn't also play Snowgrave, you know? Several hours of gameplay in there. Unique gameplay. Although I guess you could argue that's also the case for just like experiencing unique dialogue. Like there's a unique interaction for flushing the honey toast down the toilet in the game, so like you could argue that's a similar case, but yeah. I just like to see all the content, basically. Um and yeah, it was fucked up. It was fucked up what happened. Maybe not as fucked up as what chapter 3, 4, 3 probably. I think 3 was the one where you first confront Noelle and tell her to put the red pixel in her soul or something like that. I don't know. Little lost on that still, but yeah, very scary. Does that work? That's kind of what I'm envisioning. They look a little too reclined. Maybe there's another way to show off. I haven't even talked about what I'm envisioning for this little shoe. So they have the shrimp tempura rollerblades. I wanted to do like broccoli tempura as like a slipper. So I don't really know. I don't know how to best convey this because like it would basically just be a big puff, and I could make it green inside, and then I think it would be a little bit like fluffy, textured kind of. But yeah, you don't really see any of the shape from within the tempura. That's why the shrimp is so clever, because like you do see the shape of either the tail or the head through the tempura. So cute. Hmm. Yeah, there's just so many fun like food themes I think that you could add to the outfits of this character. Hmm. Yeah, but that's what I was envisioning, so I wanted to have this character wearing that. Hmm. Hmm. But since they're also kind of like sleepwear, maybe it would make sense to make them like tired. Actually, I wonder if there's like a sleep mask I could do with food. What's like a unique, maybe like a fish. That could be silly. Mm, then I could give them like a pajama fit. Let's see. I guess the reclined look does make some amount of sense then. But let's see. Could just do them like stood up. I also got to debate every time I draw characters on Artfight whether I want to change my art style to fit or not. Like, this is a very chibi style, and my regular art style is not quite like that. I think my art style is just very cartoony. Not really anime, just like, I don't know. Kind of anime, but mostly like America cartoon core, because that's what I fucking watch. Um, hmm. I want to do like one, this classic sleepy pose. Mm-mm. Mm. And then the sleeping mask. What does their hair look like? Interesting, to say the least. And they have like, yeah. Mm, trying to envision what like anime sleep expressions are. Hmm. Just like gigantic mouth. Hmm. Works for now. They have a neck. Barely. They probably do under their little sweater. And then like a little. I imagine my friend has put much, much, much thought into the character design here. Mm, kind of want to do like they're putting on one slipper, like they've just arrived to the door. Plus, I like doing that one like slipper slipping off the foot to imply that it's a slipper. Or rather, imply that it has like gravity and stuff. Fun little detail. How do I put their arms that it's like flipping on the shoe? I guess they're, well, this proportion is incorrect completely, but we'll ignore that for now. I guess their arm would be like reaching down. Hmm. Hmm. Proportions confusing for real, for real. Kind of leaning towards these now. Hmm. But then the leg up probably doesn't make much sense. Maybe like they're reading something. Or they could be eating something. Scrolling their phone, perhaps. Mm, how would this look? Would it be Thompson? Hmm. No, I think this makes more sense. And then do they do... Oh, they do very thick hands. And probably will do some kind of unique fit because I don't want to give up my broccoli tempura shoes. Oh, look, we can have it kind of tilted off. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Interesting, interesting. Although, I don't know if that actually makes sense proportionally. I think it need to be more, like, tilted forward. Hmm. Perhaps, perhaps. And their braid gets flipped up. Cute. Oh, shrimp tail braid. I guess it'd maybe make more sense if I could extend this out so that it looks like a proper bed. Then that would probably justify the outfit change a little more. Oh, and I could give them a cute, like, bedspread design. Or, like, plushies as well. Hmm. Plushie there. Hmm. Maybe a plushie here. What's a cute tempura plush? Hmm. Well, maybe they just have, like, a little sushi. Yes. Beautiful. Maybe one more? Like an egg. Egg. Love me a boiled egg and ramen. This is just looking like a bowl of ramen at this point. I wonder if I can add like chopsticks somewhere in here. Mm. Oh, I guess I could make the blanket could be like ramen colored. Be given ramen broth. And then I'm like having a vision of the what is this? Uh what's the thing you put a bed on? The bed frame? I'm having a vision of the bed frame looking like having chopsticks on its base. You make this a little shorter. Mhm. So that could be solid. Actually, I think I want the long side to have the chopsticks, but I don't actually know if there'd be room. Mm. This would be like this side. Yeah, it's not quite enough room. Alright, then we'll have to do the double slats on this side. Okay. I think that's cute. Yeah. Have their bed pushed into a corner, as is the superior bed orientation. And then I kind of want to do like I don't really know how much work I want to put into the background, but some amount would probably be necessary. Could do like a window. And then maybe have the curtain blowing in. A bright summer or warm summer night. And I don't know, I'm envisioning fairy lights, probably. Some kind of food-themed fairy light. Maybe little fishies. And I think these need to be a little smaller if they go back. Yeah, that works. This is probably too much. Or move over. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I like that. That's pretty cute. And look, I kept my fucked up forced perspective idea. I get you. So cute. I could also envision, actually, hold on. I kind of want to do like maybe a stack of magazines by their bed. One can only imagine what they are reading. I guess these would probably be fashion magazines. Yeah, that's good enough. I'm gonna crop it probably pretty close to the bed. I just want to show the whole bed in its entirety. Then we'll do some kind of wavy pattern. And then the flecks of seasoning in the broth. Oh, actually, maybe the chopsticks could be like on the top. Like on the side, maybe? Something like that. Okay, thanks, bro. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Color time. I'm thinking something very warm. Why am I doing drawing a square? God has given us the tools to draw squares. So I want a very warm palette, I think. And then maybe some purplish shadows. Just do something rough real quick. Actually, I guess, would it be darker on this side? I guess it'd probably be dark here. I 100% thought this song was by Sabrina Carpenter when I heard it. But can I be blamed? I mean, like, it sounds like Sabrina Carpenter, right? Like, I don't know. I don't pay too much attention to artists. But apparently it's not. Could have fooled me. Fishy. Fishy. Do a dark night sky. Some kind of curtain. Don't really care too much about what this looks like at the moment. Hmm. And then, I don't know, probably green would stand out a little more. And we need the brown broth of the ramen. Okay, that's too yellow. I do want it to be pretty dark, though. Oops. Be gone, flies. And then I guess white pillows could look like tofu or something. Oops. I smacked my phone or my mic. Sorry if that sounded horrible. I blame the fly though. Bro got in the way. Sorry about that. Blink. Looks good enough. I don't want to put too much effort into these sketches quite yet. Oh yeah, but I forgot the other thing that I did last week was I finally watched Ruby. or picked up on Ruby, I should say. I mean, it was so good back in its heyday, and I definitely enjoyed it less. But I mean, my problem with Ruby has not even really been the latest season. I mean, I certainly have opinions about it. I don't know when season 9 dropped, but yeah, I had some opinions. It was okay. It was interesting, but I also think it was made when like I think they might have been unaware if they were going to be able to continue Ruby when they made season 9. So, I'm interpreting it with the assumption that they didn't know how long they were going to have before they finished it. Although I've also seen some things that make me question that. So I don't know. Regardless, my problem with Ruby was actually I think season 7. Um and it's simply because of one reason, and it's because I like the character Crow a lot. And in season 6, or no, in season 7, mm, trauma, trauma from that number. In season 7, I think they introduce Clover, who's like got good luck instead of bad luck, which is what Crow has, and then they kill him. And I was very upset by that. And then also Crow gets like put in jail, which upset me even more after all that. So like so many things just went to shit in that season that I guess I must have finished it because I remember what happened at the end of this season. So I had finished that entire season. I guess that must have been 8. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. I knew what happened at the end of 8. I was like, wow, that was crazy. I'm upset. And I guess I just repressed a lot of the memories of watching it so that I wouldn't have to live through it again. But then I watched it again. So I kind of just undid all that work, unfortunately. But I wanted to rewatch the whole season recently. So that's why I did it. And or the whole series, I should say. And I definitely liked the earlier seasons a lot more. It all got so crazy at the end, which I guess is to be expected, but I don't know. Keeping things somewhat vague, but it was okay. It was weird. Honestly, I'm not that upset with how they decided to handle season 9. If only because it was like kind of interesting. Like they basically removed you from the world of Remnant and put you, or they put the characters into a whole other world, like a fairy tale world, which is kind of fun. And I hope it was fun for the developers to make because it was just like very different from what we've come to expect. And like there was still a lot of the elements that people, or rather that like Ruby kind of came to be known for, like very dramatic fights, and like that was still in there. And we were following the main characters still, so that was fine. It was just a little different, and it was kind of strange because when you like last left off in the world of Ruby, things 100% were going to shit. Like it was all bad all around, and then we just like leave that horrible situation in order to like go off to fairy tale land. So that was a little bit odd to me. Bit of an interesting decision. But like I kind of assumed that that decision was made because they weren't sure if they were going to be able to continue the show afterwards. And in which case, like, I think go ham, make something that's fun then. Um, and additionally, if they weren't sure they were going to have time or be able to do another season, then I kind of understand not wanting to like shove the answer to every last lingering plot hole and little thread that they had to wrap up. I would understand why they wouldn't want to try to put all that in one season because it would have just been impossible. Like rewatching all of Ruby made me realize how goddamn slow all of the seasons are. Like there was one entire season just for like getting to Atlas from the main kingdom, or what, from Beacon to Atlas, like just the travel was one entire season, or it might have been two actually. I forget after having just watched it. But I mean, I started watching it many moons ago, and then by the time I got to 7 or 8, I was like, oh god, this is where everything goes wrong, and all the characters I like are going through it. And I was like, you know what, maybe I don't need to finish it. But I did. I did need to finish it. And then I got to watch the season that I had not consumed yet, which was 9, which I think was interesting. I don't think it was a bad season. I thought it was fun. I'm just a little perplexed because apparently there is a season 10, which is that was a surprise to me. I didn't want to hold out hope or dread that they would continue to add more content. But apparently they are. They are working on it currently. I think there was an update in 2025 that they're in the early stages of writing. So, alright. I will casually wait for it. And we'll see. We'll see how it all goes down. I'm a little worried though, because if they only have one more season left to do, that seems it seems like my fears of what I was assuming they weren't going to do is actually going to come to pass, that they are going to attempt to finish the season and answer every last question with one single season, which seems very bad, and I don't really want to watch all that. But who knows? Maybe they're just going to try to leave things in a sort of wrapped up state so that it makes an amount of sense. Okay, I don't really know how to make this look like broccoli. Should we do little spots in it? Then it just looks like mold. What does tempura broccoli look like? Tempura. Fucking love tempura. Oh my god, why does that look like mold, bro? It looks disgusting. They need to cook that better. Okay, it is. What the hell? Why is this? Hold on, I need to show this. I think this is my display. Why is this in there? Is this someone's YouTube thumbnail? Broccoli tempura. They're using the meme font. What a gorgeous thumbnail. Okay, anyway. Yeah, okay, you mostly do see green. So maybe we put more green in there. And then, I don't know, I guess it's yellow on the outside for the tempura. And you can kind of see little flecks of it. I don't know, maybe I'll be able to make that look more refined when I actually draw it. Alright, good enough sketch. I think she's cute. I think this is maybe too blue. Everything else in here is quite warm. Doesn't really fit. Yeah, that works. Cute. Cute. I do think the focus not really on the character. There's a lot of empty space here. I wonder if we should just squish in kind of tighten the composition a little. These goddamn flies. It's on my monitor. It's not even that dark in this room. Be gone. Other brighter light sources. Yeah, I think that looks a little better. I think it's still pretty clear that they're on a bed. I guess actually I do like the chopsticks on the side. I think that's silly. I think I might have to kind of nudge the window, and that's a little funky. But yeah, I do think the tighter composition makes some sense. Let me and get the scale. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, Bitter Medicine. Dude, I just recently heard this song from Crane Wives. Slaps. Alright, I think that's cute. Sleep anywhere, anywhere. Alright, there's number 2. Ebi. They're so cute. I love them. I'm so obsessed with their little shrimp rollerblade. That's just the best character design I've ever seen. Okay, next is Full Moon. This is number 2. Nobody but me. I don't know which one to do. So they have these 3 characters I'm considering. And Lucas and Dunstan are apparently supposed to be drawn together, preferably. Which I don't mind, drawing multiple characters. More points that way. I think I'm trying to remember from the description there. Sometimes like enemies and sometimes lovers slay. So, I mean, fighting would be fun. They could be like fighting against enemies together. That could be fun. Moonstone Iridescence? Fuck yeah. I love Moonstone. Moonstone's very pretty. So that's an option. It'd be more complicated though to draw them. Other option is Orbit, which I really like his character design. The only problem is he apparently exists in the world of Marvel Rivals. Which also, maybe I just have a fucked up perception of, like, age. But also, like, bro is 40 and is a hero. I don't know. I guess maybe I just assume they die early. That just seems like a lot of work for a 40-year-old. I guess they're not quite middle age, but I don't know. Regardless, I just thought that was silly. So we could draw Orbit. My only issue is if he exists in the world of Marvel Rivals, I don't know if I could quite mimic that style very well. Like Marvel Rivals has a very, even in their like painterly style, I kind of envision it sort of like Arcane, where it's very, based on 3D models, but there's some like distinct color and character shape. I don't know. It could be very fun to make like a dynamic pose for this guy though. I'm honestly a little worried about drawing a face in Marvel Rivals, like especially being able to imply his age correctly might be a challenge. I'm not at all familiar with Marvel Rivals, but maybe they do have like older superheroes in the roster. Older in quotes. I know 40 is not that old, but so used to very skinny young heroes, of course. Well, I guess my latest reference for that would have just been Dispatch. Which I guess, like, Robert's not a good frame of reference because he's, like, not old. He just acts old because he abuses his body to be a superhero or whatever. Oh, and also the coma and what, yeah. Not a great frame of reference, but this could just be fun. He's got like gravity powers, so that could be interesting. I'll save these 2 for maybe a future stream when I want to put more time into doing them. Sketch. So we'll do orbit. Cool name as well. I like the superhero concept. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. There's some kind of flying bullshit happening, I would presume. Or technically, gravity. Ah, teaches astronomy. Awesome. Very Project Hail Mary, just because I've recently seen some cool fan art for, like, Spider-Man version of Project Hail Mary. That's silly. Oh, wait, he actually has more info. Manipulate gravity, people and objects, across general areas of effect. Okay, so basically levitation, but with more steps. Oh, and then also rocket boots, of course. That is where the fly comes from. General area of effect. Can I make bro like levitating a building or something? Or a bus? Superhero type shit. Oh, wait. Can I make the helmet? I could do some kind of reflection on the helmet to excuse me from having to draw a face. I'm so smart. Let's see. I feel like my first instinct is to just do like doot. I mean, I really love like a curvy kind of line of action on bodies. How does this need to look? I guess like that. I'm inclined to make his leg like this, but also bro's 40. He's basically middle. He's practically in the grave, so I should maybe not do too dramatic. So I'm thinking some shit like that. I figure out this leg. I would like to be able to see it, but I don't think from this perspective you probably wouldn't. Like, it'd be perfectly behind. Great excuse to not draw the other leg. Hell yeah. It's just I need to be able to show the gravity power happening. I guess this leg will have to be turned enough. So my first instinct is just like both arms up, bust. But I feel like that also kind of it's a very like what's the word? About to throw a bus on you kind of vibes, you know? So I mean he's a hero, but we could you could be throwing some rocks at someone. Alternatively, I could try to give him an expression that makes it clear that he was lifting the bus out of danger. But then I'd have to draw faces. Oh, God. I think I should also make his arms kind of bent. A bit Atlas style, you know? This is also great practice because I hate drawing male characters. Or I guess I should say just masculine characters. Just more used to drawing femmes, you know. Arm. Beautiful hand. Burp, burp, burp. Sure. And then, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to make his expression actually visible. Ba, ba, ba. Yeah, proportions are a little wonky, but then again, I feel like Marvel Rivals proportions are very exaggerated, so it probably fits. And then what's this POV? Kind of front facing, but maybe I should make it from below. I think that makes some amount of sense. Her torso is very tilted. Does that make any sense anatomically? Kind of tilted. But I like the proportions to be very tilted. Sometimes you do just kind of have to stop caring. I feel like I said that last time. Yeah, you gotta just vibe when you make a drawing sometimes. Otherwise, it'll just never look correct. And then you will have made zero drawing at all. Kind of feel like the top is a little disconnected. Maybe I could just flip it. Wop. Well, don't know about that. I want more motion, damn it. Actually, that doesn't look too terrible. I think that maybe needs to be... Well, actually... Like that? Is that correct? Well, actually, I think just their foot needs to be the other direction. Oh, I have one headphone in, and this song is not made for one headphone. Full headphone mode. Yeah. Maybe. Perspective. Bus. I want to be able to see the bottom of it. What the hell does a bus look like? It's vaguely rectangular, I guess. Just like a brick. It's the vibe. Ugh, I'm gonna have to look up what a bus looks like for this, aren't I? They have 6 wheels? Or they just have 4? Maybe just 4. I guess this is looking rather truck-like as opposed to a bus. It could be a truck. Maybe like a mail truck. Which I also don't know what that looks like, so why did I suggest that? I don't know. I want someone at least to just be like hanging out the window. I'm not in cars often enough to draw from the top of my head. And then like a hand outside. Yeah, sure, that looks somewhat correct. Then we got the gravity powers. I think I should split that so that can make it more clear that the gravity stuff is happening. Yeah, I could maybe do a bit of that. And we got the wiggly gravity hands. Woo. And then I'd love if I could just imply, maybe through some crazy perspective, that like the road was broken. That's why the bridge got, or the car got picked up. Could we just do top-down view of a broken bridge, perhaps? This might also require some research. Like, I think it would have to be, like, the bridge is like this, right? If we actually want to see it from this perspective. Hmm. But, like, then where's this camera? That doesn't really make sense with where this character's supposed to be. Hmm. Why can't things just have non-Euclidean geometry and I just don't have to think about what is correct and logical? Hmm. I guess just like having it in the background might make enough sense. Bridge. Maybe like this. Would it be tilted? Hmm. Maybe. More shit that needs researching. Probably just start with the character, though. What I understand more. And then I'll decide if I want to do the landscape as well. And I think the cutoff maybe here. And then as for the actual character, just have not drawn them yet. Oh, it's like a varsity jacket. Silly. Yeah, I don't know if I'm the most fond of this composition because, like, character is just so tiny. Hmm. But it is pretty dramatic, which I think fits the superhero vibes. I do think their leg needs to be somewhere here, though. Like, it should be down, I think. Yeah, sure. And then helmet. Good enough. And yeah, maybe this composition could also be squished in so that there's more focus on the character, but for now, I don't gaff. Oh, whoops. Colored with the wrong character. Or color. Here we go. Colors. Blue? I don't want to do dramatic lighting, but I think this is already dramatic enough. Just do a little bit of color, a little bit of clouds. Although everything would have to be kind of tilted to match the perspective. And then probably some like dark water below. And this guy would probably just have all their regular colors. Don't have to do too much thinking this time for what colors I should use. Although my general, like, approach to colors is just, like, randomly pick some colors that are adjacent to each other, and then it just works out. Just don't think about it too much, basically. And this can be a white truck. Or like a grayish truck. Yeah, almost certainly this will have to be scrunched in. They're too small. I just want to be able to show off the, like, perspective so you can understand what's happening. Oh, also, I should have not put this on the same layer. Oh well. Like, would making it bigger help? I don't know. Very debatable. Well, it works well enough for now. I might come up with, like, a different pose to just draw. It's comic booky, though. Oh, God, if I really wanted to put in more work, I could definitely see this being, like, the cover page of, like, a Marvel comic. So I could do, like, an actual title for it with, like, a comic book number and whatever. That is a lot of work, though. So, maybe not right now. Okay. Number 1 character. My friend Shade. Let's see. So they have several characters, many sillies. I've drawn one of them before. Not this character. Actually, no, I think I've drawn several. But they're very cool looking. I think I wanted to do this guy. If only because their anatomy confuses the hell out of me. So I think that's fun. And also they have a name. I don't know if you're supposed to pronounce this like Dark Farkle, but that's very funny to me. So I think we're gonna do Dark Farkle. Hell yeah. see, make you a little smaller. Anatomically, they're confusing, which is great for me. Don't have to think too much about it, I guess. Or maybe I'll have to think a lot about it because it won't make sense. But they're like I think this is a D&D character, like a dark sorcerer, and they like trade in flesh or something like that, or they deal in flesh. And so they have a missing arm and leg, and it's replaced with these spheres. Yes, interesting. Mm. And I think they say that they're highly precise spheres. I don't know what that means. I don't know how that implies that you would be able to use them as replacement limbs, but maybe. So, I don't know. I could either leave them as spheres, just make it very confusing, or maybe they're like shape-shifting spheres. They can change into the form of a leg or an arm. That would make more sense. I don't understand though why they wouldn't then look like that. But like I don't know, this seems to imply that it's like they're balancing weight on it maybe. I don't know. This confuses me so much. A lot of shaded OCs are just a good challenge for sure. Also just very unique character design. I like the mask as well. And like what is this? Is this tentacles? Or like intestines? Or dreads, but they just made the texture shiny for some reason. It's truly anyone's guess. Hmm. It's a funny character. Hmm. I kind of want to make them like actually doing some magic or like maybe chopping someone's arm off. That could be fun. Or maybe just a finger. I mean, this seems, I think the way that what's it? The like description page worded it was it didn't seem like this sorcerer is taking, arms and limbs unwillingly. Like they're doing it in exchange for a spell or magic or something like that. Or probably more power. So that might involve someone willingly giving up an arm, perhaps, or a hand. A finger, I think, would make more sense. Ugh, perspective. Like, I want this to look like this is the viewer's arm. I'm looking at my own hand, and now I'm just like, when did that mole get there? And the thing I love about a lot of shaded arts is I can just do whatever the hell I want with a lot of the anatomy, and I don't need to care too much because it will kind of still fit in with the rest of their art, and that's such a blessing. And it's a pretty good hand. Okay, I can put my arm down. Jeez. I think that maybe needs to be lowered. A little hard to tell whether it's palm up or not. Oh man, I did something else this week, or I guess weekend. Yeah, I think it was on Saturday. I did a escape room for the first time, which was very fun. Um, it was a little crowded because me and my entire family went, so there was 7 of us. Fun though. My only gripe, only singular gripe, is we succeeded in escaping. I think we had like 10 minutes left, and it was like a level 9 difficulty, I think, where we had an hour to go through several rooms. And it was pretty challenging. We had 10 minutes left when we finished it, and our prize was just like a sticker for all of us. We all got a sticker. And like, I don't know. I kind of feel like this was an expensive experience. I would have liked food or a shirt. A shirt would have been cool. Commemorative branded merch. Something I could like actually show off to prove to people like, hey, I did it. And then it'd also be advertising. You could be like, hey, I did this cool thing and this is where it was. This is where you could go to do it yourself. But whatever. Kind of my only gripe of the whole experience. It was pretty fun otherwise. All right, I want bro to have a giant knife. This can either be a magic knife or it can be his glowy orb, but my man's needs a knife. Big chopping knife. Probably needs to be tilted a little bit more. I actually just want to make this look like the knife that I have in my kitchen. It's looking a little machete-like, but this. And then I think I do want it to be pretty clear that it's like the orb. Maybe it could be magic and you could like actually see the hand through it. That would actually make... I think I would like that. It does still all need to be tilted though. So this arm just does not look correct. Maybe it's because this needs to be wider. Then maybe I'll have that as a separate thing. And then they have one hand. Could their hand be grasping here? Let me make this a little lighter. Big hand. And then there's Stevie. And I want them to be very tilted. Not tilted angry. They're quite neutral about what they're about to do. And then how does this work? Usually the fabric is like tied off, but this is just like, it's a mystery. My guy did not want to think about how that works, and I'm not going to begrudge him that. Also, I believe my, what's it? Oh, they actually did a lot of nice fabric work here. Many lovely folds. My pen and, what is this called? My tablet is starting to die. You hate to see it. At least get all these sketches in before that happens, so that's good. Okay, I want to make it In fact, I might put this on another layer. I want to make it very obvious bro is hunched over. I'm looking quite closely. Yeah, I like that angle. Okay. Now, how do we handle this? Because his arm is definitely in cutting range. Maybe his like torso is actually back this way. In fact, there's probably room to draw more of his torso. His wide childbearing hips, of course, can't forget that. Although I think this would be probably a table that they're on. I don't know. I'm like picturing inscription type body part chopping off, you know? But maybe it makes some amount of sense to have him just like grabbing the hand and then like the arm is just poised dangerously. That could also look cool. Kind of rotated. Ooh, or maybe I should do like skithers, you know? Let's see. I mean, he doesn't have scissors anywhere. Oh, wait a minute. They have 4 fingers, I think. What is this situation? um, is it like they lost 2 fingers in the middle, maybe? It's a little strange. But alright. Sure, there we go. Very beautiful. Okay. Back to the scissor hand. Right, maybe I'm just thinking scissor because Edward Scissorhand. Obvious parallel. But, you know. Scissor. I'd have to draw the bottom of the scissors too. Yeah, maybe just like a serrated knife would make sense. Kind of like a bone saw. And I want their arm to be kind of properly looking like it's somewhat a part of their body. Alright. This song is such a banger. So if this method for evading muting on Twitch works, and like I'm doing everything legally, that's kind of curious. Because like, does that not mean that someone could run a stream that's just like them playing music and then they're like not doing anything at all? Like they're just live streaming music. And they could be finding it on other websites. And like, I don't know, how is that not breaking copyright? That still seems bit confusing. Because in my understanding, majority of copyright comes down to, or like most of what copyright comes down to is just that like someone is trying to prevent something they made from making someone else money if they didn't give them permission. So like if you had a stream that was monetized and you were playing copyrighted music, like does that not mean you're breaking copyright? Or I think the way Pitch was wording it was that it was live performance, which I guess, but like you're still making money off that, you know? It seems like the thing that they as in the people who own the copyright are more concerned about is that there's not like a real or a persistent recording of something that they own. And like that's the important part for whatever reason. Very odd. But you know, I'm not gonna complain. I won't look a gift horse in the mouth if it does work and continue to work. Very cool. And then I kind of don't know if I want to tilt their head quite this much, but it does look kind of cool. Maybe I'll just tilt the whole perspective a little. Give them a little bit of an expression. What the fuck is this shape, bro? Just like a wiggle? It's just a little squiggly guy, I guess. Sure. It looks great. Always a treat drawing a shaded OC. Oh, you know what? This could almost be forced perspective. Squish the sword. Lengthen the sword. Widen the sword. Okay, that's a little much. Okay, hold on. we fucked it up. Maybe I should do. Hold on. There's a transform for this. Perspective? Yeah. Yeah, like that. Perhaps. Ugh, I don't like all these tangents, but like I also don't really want to have to make this drawing like wider than it needs to be. Yeah, we'll just put it over. You know, I guess the ball does kind of look like it's the wrist and not the L or the joint of like the socket, arm socket. Now that I look at that. I mean, we could make this really forced perspective and have it like all the way back here. But this makes it feel more like it's like actually connected. So I think I will do that. Okay, now for this guy. I think this is like mostly correct. Looks really good on the wrist. I just don't want that tangent. Tangents are the devil, though. Cool. And I guess there's room for the beautiful loincloth, so I might as well draw some of that thick thigh in here. I don't really know what it looks like at the end. I guess that. They're so roided out. I am genuinely very curious what kind of art Shade is inspired by to make all their characters so muscular. Okay. We'll just pretend that all the rest of their legs is like covered in shadow. Cool. Okay, I'm honestly pretty happy with that perspective. Cool. And make that a little bit rounder, proper sphere kind of situation. And then, oh yeah, the arm. Cool. Put those together. And give a little bit of color. Yeah, should I just make it very dark still? Like kind of matching with this palette. I think we could just stretch this to go off screen. And then what about this arm? Just continue the perspective. Just looks like that. Giant fucking arm. Maybe you can give him like a scar. Or like some other kind of feature. Or we just cut off the bottom of the drawing so that I don't have to deal with how strange the proportions look. I wouldn't mind giving him like a sleeve though. Or like they've rucked up their sleeve. It's a bit hard to eyeball. Blue. Actually, just none of that. That was actually a mistake. The vibes of all these drawings so far are very different. Like, it kind of feels like there's a lot of empty space on the left and right. It's all because of this sword that I put in there. This choice that I made that is now having consequences. I just don't know if it'll be very obvious that it's a sword if I chop off the top. I mean, the posing of it all kind of implies that. I just feel like it makes more sense to be able to see it. Yeah, we're gonna have to leave it. It's fine. In fact, maybe make it a little bigger. Oops. Oops. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we'll see how I feel about that later. Like, it's just so empty. I suppose I could drag this up to fill a little space, but this is sort of unaddressable. I don't know, maybe I could do like a, I don't know what you'd call it, a little swoop. Here first. Yeah, do a little bit of that. Lovely little ruffles. Then we could do like an evil swoop. Or an imminent swoop, I should say. Or I guess this wouldn't be imminent. This would be like they're raising their arm up from where it was to cast Slicing Judgment. Very Grim Reaper-esque. That's kind of cool. I think I want the trail to sort of look like it's made of stars. To kind of evoke, I guess, the magic that's happening here. Wee. Yeah. Yay, violence. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, how cute! These have all been so cute. Oh yeah, color. I do like the purples. The purple and blue is also just, it's a good combo. Got a lot of good contrast there. Oops. Actually, I could do this separately. Now, why did I use purple there? We'll do like a grayish color, I guess. I'm hearing a strange sound. Might be rain. We'll just hope it's rain and not the mice in the walls again. Yeah, weirdly, all of the characters that I've drawn for Shade, I mean, at least all the ones that are kind of like, how'd you describe it? Anatomically dubious, I would say. It does make them more fun to draw, or like they end up having the more unique compositions because you can just kind of put them in any which way, and it just ends up being more fun. That's one thing that I kind of learned after doing like a couple years of figure drawing at art college. I, obviously had to start by learning how to do things correctly and well, one might say. Debatably, but you have to learn how to do it correctly first. But then afterwards, I was having like way more fun, doing things more gesturally and kind of caring less about making it very anatomically correct. Which I don't know. I mean, I think personally, I value like action and cool movement over something strictly making sense. You know, I'm a denier of things making sense being required to make something look good and cool. Sometimes it can just look cool, and it does not need to be correct. Being cool and fun is freeing, as opposed to being so worried about making it look right, Do some gray. Actually, we'll just make it all gray. Actually, yeah, that's. Oh right, their whole body is purple. We'll do some like purple shading on everything. Just make it all purple. What colors should the lighting be? I kind of want to make it yellow. Like if we could make this give off like a glow. What is this tapping I'm hearing behind me? Is it raining? That would fill me with some reassurance. Apparently just still a thunderstorm watch. I think the thunderstorm watch started at like 8. And yet here we are. Stormless. I'm sure my sister is upset about that. She enjoys her a good storm. What the fuck is that noise though? Oh wait, crazy idea. It might just be a fly desperately reaching for the light in the ceiling, like a moth to a light in the ceiling. I swear to freaking God, that's not away. Oh yeah, this is like a darker purple somehow. I don't think I've quite decided what game I want to play next. It's possible that throughout the month of Artfight, I might get sick of. I'm sorry, no Wilbur sit. Not live. It's possible that I might get sick of doing Artfight throughout the month. Hopefully not. I mean, it'll only have been. How many streams are there in the month of July? Probably. I mean, I guess only 4. I don't really know how many Fridays there or Thursdays there are rather. But if I get sick of it, I could do something else. And I'm just not sure which game I'm going to jump to when this is said and done. Because, like, I do have ideas for series that I want to make, but some of the series are very, like, I would much rather do them as a video, like an edited series, as opposed to, doing a live streamed thing. I guess there's no reason it can't be both, but. And honestly, I probably should start as both. I don't know. I'm debating if I want to do like Minecraft maps. Could be kind of fun. There's some Minecraft maps I've been several hours into, but then I kind of only know in retrospect, whether they were fun or not. I do like a lot of RPGs though, a lot of CTMs. Very good time in a CTM. Not sure, not sure. I'm gonna make this guy kind of like a pasty pink. We could do that. Oh, God. I guess technically, thinking of games I have yet to play, I do have Expedition 31. I just haven't played it yet. I'm not eager to. And to be fair, part of it is like a genuinely spiteful response to it getting so many rewards at whatever game award that was when Silksong only got like one. And then that one announcer was like, hey, you got one at least. It's like, what the fuck? Excuse you. Ugh, I was offended for Silksong on behalf of them. Ugh. That gave me a little sour taste in my mouth, but I should probably play it. Nah, I guess. So that's one thing I could do, I suppose. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, you know what? I was like, I just realized this leg shouldn't exist, but like they do technically have a little bit of leg, so maybe it's fine. Maybe it's actually okay. Yeah, sure. So we could do a little expeditioning. I'm not sure how much I'll enjoy it. I have seen some kind of synopsis of its gameplay, but I guess that was just because. Oh yeah, that was only in a theory, or not a theory. What would you call it? I guess an essay, a video essay by Jacob Gellert. I watched his video about it, which, I mean, he did, I think, only have good things to say about it. In fact, he made a video about the Expedition 33 and Silksong. So, I would hope he was at least, kind of judging both of them equally. So I suppose I could play that. I've seen a little, or, I've seen enough of a synopsis, I guess, to grasp what the game is about. And it's like, what is it? It's lore, so there will be some things I wouldn't be surprised about. But I obviously have not played it in full, and I've watched zero gameplay, so I would have a mostly fresh experience of it. Eyeballs. Cool. That's good enough. I think that's quite silly. Alright, yay! That's all the sketches done. Hell yeah. In like just about 2 hours. That's not too bad. Let's take a little gander at them, shall we? Normally I put all of these in their own, like their own file, and I probably will do that. I'll make a new file for all these guys. Just because, I don't want to have to sacrifice its size. I will do that right now, just so I can see them all, but I don't want to have to sacrifice the sizes, just so that the file size stays small. Plus, I already have separate folders for all these Artfight characters every month, so I don't need to worry about splitting them. Wow, this one ended up so tiny. Oh my god, I forgot about the duck. Wait, I love them so much though. Okay. These are all pretty fun. I'm definitely the least happy with this one. But I definitely like the posing of this. I love the duck. I think that turned out so good. And then I think this one's pretty cute and cozy. It's just this guy I don't feel too good about. Hmm. I mean, I could just do like generic superhero pose. I am sort of attached to the idea of doing like a comic book cover style. So I could do something like that. I don't know if I want to make it too generic. You know, like maybe having him look behind him or something. I don't know. I have such trouble with like drawing the line for me for where inspiration is versus just like flat out copying. I feel like that's a common artist issue of like what is it? I don't remember what it's called, but where you is it no, it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember. You know, where you're afraid that you don't have any original ideas and you struggle to like make things feel like your own and unique. Even though that's kind of impossible because nothing you make or consume exists in a vacuum, you know, and like you're inspired by everything and you're influenced by everything you've taken in, at least in some small way. But I still want to make a piece that looks unique, you know? I know, I'm at the very least very happy with this one. It's very action packed, I think. I think maybe the arm needs to be draw more attention to the arm with some lighting so that the imminent action becomes very obvious and like kind of the focal point beyond all the yellow kind of drawing you up here. This I think is great. I have no notes about the spider eye duck. Yeah, so the middle one definitely needs a bit of work. The fly is back. Got be gone. There's literally a fly trap in here, bro. Go meet your fate. Hey, put these things back. Alright, so happy with that. You need work. I might try some alternative sketches of this. And additionally, I think I might end stream here. Not necessarily because I do want to finish these, and I will definitely try to finish these as quickly as possible. I think I'll try to take tomorrow to render them all, or bring them to a level of rendering that I'm happy with, and work on this guy as well. I'm just really hungry. I haven't eaten yet before stream, and eating is... I want to eat. I have my food. It's like right here. I've just been waiting to be done with stream before I could do it, and I'm hungry now. So this is a fun stream. Fun little beginning to the Artfight attacks. I will be sure to finish them all. You know, obviously by next stream. I'll try to finish them as quickly as possible. But I'll at least have these 4 pieces finished by next week, and I'll show y'all next week, as well as picking out some new characters. I imagine by then, I mean, if anyone revenges me, then it will be probably these guys. But because they'll have already had an attack from me, I will probably just randomly pick characters from the Artfight website. That's normally what I do. And then we'll see how it goes for the next couple weeks. It might just end up that I'll have to focus all my time on revenging, which is fine. I mean, you get more points for revenge chaining. Or, you know, maybe I'll have some time to add some new artists and characters into the mix, which is, that's one of the, like, my favorite parts about Artfight, is you get to expose yourself to, new styles of art and artists you probably would have never come across. And I also just love to give some love and attention to, characters and artists who don't often get a lot of attacks. That's why I love the random. Obviously, I love attacking people I know. I love it, and you can quote me on that. I love attacking people I know. But it's also fun to make friends with people you don't know. And give them a little bit of appreciation for their cool art that they put up. So yeah, we'll resume with this next week. But I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go. Good night, everyone. Oh, and it's so great. My Wi-Fi didn't even drop for once during a stream. That's crazy. Maybe that's a sign I shouldn't stream for 7 hours straight, though. But no, that couldn't be it. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. So yeah, goodbye.